What's up, guys? Welcome into Sports and Shenanigans, where women's sports and pop culture collide. I'm your host, Jillian Carroll Latrinko, and I'm so pumped today to be joined by Avery Patterson of the Houston Dash. Of course, we've seen her with the U.S. women's national team as well. But, Avery, thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Jill.
Yeah, so I'm so excited to learn a little bit about your journey. I love to start and kind of celebrate you a little bit. So it's so cool to watch you now in your sophomore season, still contributing to Houston Dash, but taking it back a year, you were the first pick for Houston Dash in the 2024 draft, and you had a stellar rookie season. A number of appearances, 28, I think, appearances, a goal and a couple of assists, and you're named newcomer of the year. So congratulations to you on that. And that really, yeah, of course, into your sophomore season again, continuing to contribute. How are you doing with Houston? Obviously, still fairly new. You've got a year under your belt, but new in the league. Are you finding your home in Houston?
I am. It did take a while to get used to the footing. I think moving anywhere without a solid support system, I even knew going to college, I knew a lot of the girls already in Chapel Hill. I knew my class. I wasn't really thrown into anything there. It was kind of like, okay, we're going to put you in the deep end here and see if you can swim. You might sink, but hopefully you'll swim type of thing. But everyone was so welcoming here. And this year, new coach, new staff, new players. It's been a great start to the year so far.
Well, good. Glad to hear that. It seems like it, obviously when teams go through change in leadership or if they go through any type of, new technical staff, you're going to see some of that on the pitch. And so shout out to you all down in Houston, bringing in Fabrice Catra, of course, but you named it too. Different faces. So it's cool to see you guys all gelling. But let's talk a little bit about before you even made it to Houston, you were killing it on the pitch for the Tar Heels, as you kind of just alluded. So at North Carolina, of course, just talk a little bit about your time there and maybe some of your most fond memories in Chapel Hill.
Gosh, I could talk about this for hours. I'm not even kidding. Um, as soon as you started talking about it, I started smiling. I have nothing but positive memories from Chapel Hill. We never really got the all touted, national championship or like ACC championship, but the friendships that I made and the relationships that I will have for the rest of my life, from college soccer and from college just in general, it's something that could bring me close to tears. I am so lucky to call all of those girls my best friends. And I've seen like tweets and TikToks about how like thank goodness for in my case Anson Dorrance for recruiting all of these girls to the same place at the same time. Like I just think back on it and think about how lucky and how grateful I am to be at that program at the same time of all of my buddies.
Yeah. What a cool statement to make. And a lot of your teammates, you kind of get to see them every now and again, now sprinkled throughout NWSL,
Oh,
right?
100%. Yeah, oh my gosh. That's one of my favorite parts about going to away games is like being able to go over to like some former teammates' houses and stuff. Like I remember last year when we went to Seattle, I ate sushi with Claudia Dickey and her dog, and I swear I had thought I think of Simon, her dog, as like my own son. So it was a reunion that I was looking forward to all year last year. And obviously going back to North Carolina, I think it was my first professional game was at in Wake Med. And so my entire team was able to be there. Yeah, it was so special. So away games definitely hold a special place in my heart.
That is so cool. And something I love so much about athletes in general is you can be best friends. And then you step on the pitch, and if your opponents, it's like, I don't know you, right?
That was no, exactly. You have to lock in for about 90 minutes, and then afterwards you can be go back to normal things off of the pitch. You're right.
Yeah. Well, you're very humble. You also scored 27 goals. I know you mentioned you didn't get the coveted national championship, but 27 goals, 23 assists, and your time there, all ACC first team in your senior year specifically, and many other accolades, but obviously massive collegiate career. So congratulations. And then as you really throughout your club experience, you were a stalwart as far as US youth national team call-ins, but I want to hear a little bit about this futures camp that you got to be a part of in January. And then, of course, we got to see you featured in the game in a win over Brazil. Your transition into the first team, United States
Yep.
women's national team, first team. Let's hear a little bit about your experiences there.
I mean, I actually was talking to someone about this today. Like, it's obviously such a daunting thing, and you put so much pressure on yourself because it's every kid's. I said this in an interview, like straight after I had my first cap, but it's something that every soccer player in America dreams about. And so, like, going into it, you don't really know what to expect. You have like this idea in your head that this is the national team, this is the pinnacle of your career, but you never really know until you get there. And I was also like on the plane, waiting for it to hit me, and it just never really did. And it even coming back from camp and like being able to reflect on that now, like it felt like the natural next step for me in my career. And it's something that week was so special. Also, so many funny things happened over the course of those 7 days. But it all of the girls were so kind and so welcoming, and I was just again so grateful to be in such a comforting and welcoming and supportive environment.
Okay, we're gonna get to the elevator story in a second. I
Yeah.
already said it 1,000 times, but I'm so curious, and you did a wonderful job, sharing that your teammates made you feel welcome and you felt prepared, which is awesome. I would love to know maybe some of the veterans that you were most excited to play alongside or that you started to kind of build your relationship with.
I mean, there's so many to choose from. I had a short stint in college with Emily Fox, so I was looking forward to have a little reunion with her. Um, but and obviously all the other Tar Heels that were there. I know Ali Setnor was there. Claire Hutton was originally committed to UNC. And Crystal Dunn was probably the veteran that I was most looking forward to meeting and get acquainted with. I ended up sitting next to her in a lot of the meetings, and she was just such a down to earth, kind person. And it was just, again, it's like, how do you be cool when you're meeting people that you've watched on TV for however many odd years? And I'm never chill or cool about anything. So I mean, it was again such a special week.
Yeah. You did. You seemed very from afar, obviously. Every clip and every kind of moment that featured or highlighted you, you just seemed like prepared to be there and
Yep.
like happy to be there. And there was a moment where a clip was released that Emma Hayes came over to you, and I think you actually subbed in the match for Emily Fox. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I did 100%.
That's so cool. She came over and she said, what would your younger self say to you? And
Yeah.
you just said,
I mean,
"Huh?"
I don't want to say I was taken aback, but that was something that I didn't think twice. I didn't have an answer prepared. I didn't know that that was something that she was going to come and ask me. So I I'm still being brutally honest. I think that it would be to have fun and enjoy the moment, and I think that's what I did. Yeah, that's what I tried to do. But I had always had just such a good time.
Oh, it was really cool as a fan and somebody who has followed this team and again, just is excited for the future, excited for the right now, excited for the future. And I see you as part of that, obviously. But yeah, it was a really cool moment for you to just be like, have fun. And it just felt so natural. You had a lot of moments and you kind of alluded to it during your time. So I know you shared it 1,000 times, but like just in a nutshell, the elevator thing, like, did you ever figure out how you got stuck on there? Like, what happened to cause that?
So, no, we never figured it out. And I think that a fact that like hasn't been as public as like just the getting stuck in the elevator story in general was that there were two other tourists that were in the elevator with us. And one of them was like, yeah, like a bigger dude that's like, he's a strong guy. And they're asking Alana and I to open the elevator. And so we're like, you hold on. We're like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's not budging. And this guy's like, okay, wait 1 second. And is like, he thinks that he's going to step up and open the doors. And we're like, I promise you, we're like professional athletes. Like if anyone could do this, I think that two of us could probably open the door. But yeah, we were stuck there for about 45-ish minutes. And that was a day where I had to get stuff done because the game was at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And so I had like a meeting with all of the other girls who hadn't done like the warm-ups before, that I had to frantically text all of like the staff and say, hey, I promise I'm not sleeping in on my first national team game day. I am in fact stuck in the elevator. And like it was just a mess of a day, but memorable and a great story to tell now.
Oh, the best. And I feel like it just was everywhere. Clips, you know, the one that I can envision is Becky Sauerbrunn like sliding out.
Like, and if you go back and watch me sliding out of it, my knee hits the side of the elevator and I left a huge bruise on my knee. And so people are like, oh, did you get cleated during the game? And I was like, actually, no, I hit my knee on the side of an elevator door. Unfortunately, I don't have a cool scar. No.
So that's tough. Elevator 1, Avery 0.
Exactly.
Well, I will say if there's anyone in the world that I would want to be stuck in an elevator with, any person, it would be Alana Cook. She is one of the most composed people.
Oh, I know. Well, same with Becky as well. I told them afterwards, I was like, I was freaking out. And like, I probably would have put up a fight to not get out of that elevator if you two hadn't have been there. Like, I was internally, again, freaking out. And neither of them, they were both, you're right, very composed, very calm.
How funny. How funny. Well, there it is. The elevator story from Avery's perspective. I love that. Avery, we're going to take a quick second and hear from our sponsors. We'll step aside for a break. We'll be right back after this, guys. Stay with us.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Are you ready to win some real cash during the basketball playoffs? Well, check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick 6 posterizes the competition, and yeah, that includes prize picks. Hit all of your picks and score higher minimum payouts on Pick 6, plus even more cash if you outscore the competition. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. New players get 50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Here's what you gotta do. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to play $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offers. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Welcome back. Thanks for hanging with us, guys. I am so pleased to be joined by Avery Patterson with Houston Dash. We just heard about the epic elevator moment, the saga, if you will, and just kind of how that played out, which I love the transparency there, Avery, so thank you. But it was so cool to see you get your first cap, also in a win over Brazil, which is always fun for US. But I'm curious, in your time, you had an incredible youth career. Obviously, we just talked about playing for Anson Dorrance at North Carolina, and now for Fabrice Gautrat for Houston. But with the women's national team, you played under Emma Hayes, obviously. Had you played for a female coach before that time?
Actually, I had not. I mean, I had actually small world, complete disclosure, Carson Pickett, her dad was my club coach.
Oh my gosh, what a small world.
Yeah, it's crazy small world. So I mean, I grew up with Carson as my hero, but that's another story. But he was my club coach. Anson and Damon were my college coaches, and now I have Fabrice. So I mean, it's been predominantly male coaches.
All right, so now you have the incredible opportunity to play for Emma Hayes, a historically successful coach, but I don't know, I just see her and I think that she brings so much to the women's game, not just the game of football, but to the women's game. How has your experience been playing for her so far?
Yeah, so I mean, I got a taste of what it would be like back in January at the Futures Camp. Her and Denise Reddy were very involved in terms of coaching there. And it was intense, but in the best way possible. I mean, she commands a ship. Like, that's where my mind goes when I think of her, is like, she is the captain of a very large and successful ship. And I mean, her aim off the field is not only to empower women, but to shed light on the fact that, like, the women's game deserves just as much recognition, if not more, than the men's game. And I think it's incredible to see the impact she's left on women's soccer in the last however many months, years. I mean, how many years has she been the coach of the national team? It hasn't been that long, and it's already, considering that it's been comparatively such a short time, and she has already made such strides for women's soccer in the United States. It's honestly incredible. And to be able to say that I played a part, if only a small part, in that, is something I'm going to be cherished for the rest of my life. But again, I played for her the week in January, and then again, obviously this past camp. And not only was it I learning constantly off of the field, but her and her team, her entire staff, are just tacticians of the game. You can tell that this is something that they have dedicated their lives to, and I have so much to learn from her and her incredible staff.
Yeah, I think the consensus has just been that she is here to make an impact, right? She's already done it, which has been amazing. Something I personally love about her is that she has always said how much the U.S. women's national team was an inspiration for her when she was young. I would love to know, maybe it is soccer players, maybe it's other women, but I would love to know inspirational women in your life. I know that you mentioned a few previously, but who are women in your life that have been inspiring?
I mean, I think that the go-to answer for everyone is obviously their mom. I mean, I could talk for, again, hours on hours about why she's so inspiring and has been my rock forever. But I'd also say my grandma, my mom's mom, She raised my mom and her brothers to be the people that they are today. And I mean, I again cannot even get into the details of why that is, but they are two people that have impacted my life in such a positive way, and I would not be the person I am without them. I think soccer wise, I hope that well, actually, no, she can see this. She knows this. Paige Nielsen is an inspiring one for me. I mean, she's a fellow Tar Heel. She has been through a lot, and you wouldn't be able to tell, because she's just such a positive life force, and you can see the impact she has on other people, and it's in just such a positive way. And she's just a badass soccer player. So I mean, again, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, Paige, if you're watching this, but she is one of my role models for sure these days.
Oh, it's a great shout. Great
Yeah,
shout there.
love you, Paige.
Coming back to you were talking about Emma Hayes quickly, and her impact was super evident in the Futures Camp, and that's what you got to be a part of. I look at you now as in your sophomore year, you are still evolving, but I think that the rookie class behind you is also looking at you as someone who inspires them. I'm curious as to, in this rookie class that you have seen come up in NWSL, I know we're only 6 matches in, but any rookies that are standing out to you that are like on your radar, just like whether it be how they've played or approached a game and you've just kind of earned some respect for them?
I'm going to shout out another one of my teammates, if you don't mind. Maggie Graham has made an immediate impact here in Houston. I got to play against her a lot in college. And she is a great player and person. So, I mean, she is definitely someone that you guys are going to want to watch. She was the rookie of the month in March. Goodness. We've been calling her Pookie of the month here in Houston, but yeah, she's made an immediate impact here and is going to continue to do so. I think, oh gosh, the other rookie that comes to mind is Maddie Darlene. I mean, I played with her a lot at UNC. She's one of my closest friends. So, I mean, I guess this is kind of a bias thing for Maggie and Maddie. But yeah, Maddie Darlene has been killing it in Seattle, and I've obviously enjoyed watching her grow and her evolve. I mean, I've been with her since she was a freshman coming into college, and we called her the fastest girl in Minnesota. So, I mean, now no one really knows her as that. They just know her as the badass from Seattle. So, I mean, I think that Maddie Darlene and Maggie Graham for sure are 2 rookies to keep your eye on.
Yeah, solid shouts there as well. All right, well, we are wrapping up, but before we go, I like to do like a little fun game. So just like 5 fast questions, and it's going to be this or that format. We kind of joked a little bit earlier, Avery. I'm like, Avery, what position do you play? Because you play the ball, but this will tell us. So this or that, attacking or defending?
Oh gosh, I don't even think I can answer that nowadays. I would have to say attacking. I might get crucified for that, but attacking. Attacking is is who I am at my core. I think it helps me to be a really good defender, but attacking is who I am at my core.
Fair. That's fair. Okay, rain game or snow game?
I used to want to play in the snow because this is also, it's supposed to be this or that, Avery, but I used to want to play in the snow because I was from Florida. And then my last college game ever was in the snow at BYU, and I hated it. I couldn't feel my feet. My touch was awful, so I'm going to say rain.
Well, good thing, in Houston, you probably...
Exactly. I'm not going to have that issue.
You'll be good. Okay, would you rather score a header goal or a 30-yard banger?
30-yard banger.
Yeah, love this. And then this one is easy. I think, I'm kind of giving it away, but Houston home kit or Houston away kit?
I mean, you can't go wrong with either. However, the away kit is pretty sick.
I snagged it this year. It's one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Well, Avery, it has been really cool to get to know you a little bit and understand kind of how your journey came to be. It's also really cool to hear how humble you are with your desire to continue growing, not only NWSL, but also women's national team. So just really grateful for your time. Thanks so much for hanging today.
Thank you, Jillian. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. That is Avery Patterson of the Houston Dash and of the U.S. Women's National Team. Gotta track her throughout the NWSL season. Make sure to follow her. And also, while you're at it, if you haven't yet, give our show a follow. Rate us on YouTube, where you get your podcasts, or even Instagram, Sports and Shenanigans. This has been a fun week learning a little bit more about Avery. Big shout out to the Houston Dash and the KCSN Network, of course. And our show is brought to you by Cherry, who wants to keep celebrating female athletes. So big shout out to Avery. Thanks so much for being here. We will catch you next week.